Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Godswill, Akpan, and I want to say it's a big privilege to be here this afternoon. And please, let's celebrate the organizers. Please celebrate them for you know this setup. I mean, it's the first time I'm coming to a tech event with a round table, so let's celebrate them. It's awesome. So they call it a lunch, and I believe there cannot be lunch without food. So we're expecting food. Chris, right? Chris, is Chris with us? Are we expecting food? Yes, please. There should be food. Thank you very much. All right. So this afternoon, I've been tasked with the responsibility of talking about the role of Arbitrum Nova in the DeFi ecosystem. What is the role of Arbitrum Nova in the DeFi ecosystem? And before I talk about Arbitrum, I would like you to meet me. So please, let's pan out to the next slide. Sir, let's pan out. Thank you. All right. So um, you might be interested in me. And so I brought my portfolio. Um, I'm privileged to be the founder of the FTLD community. FTLD means for the love of DeFi. And I'm also privileged to be the CEO of Jara Supermarket and the co-founder of the Holos brand. It's a branding agency, like for shirts, clothes specifically, and a community manager at Layers Protocol, um, human resource manager at SMC DAO. Many people know SMC DAO, right? And I'm also an innovation and tech communicator. You don't want to clap for me? I'll clap for myself. All right. So next slide. I said here I have a small portfolio, Sha, compared to what many people have. My own is small. So you see there the logos of my brand. As a tech entrepreneur, I have launched two businesses and one tech community. Um, the purpose of my community is to inspire people to harness the opportunities in the tech space to create solutions using them. So I have a tech community for the love of DeFi. I have two businesses, and as an innovation advocate, I've spoken in more than 40 tech events in 2023 across blockchain tech, and the likes. As a tech educator, I have mentored hundreds of people and also written a book to help newbies who are trying to transition into the digital space and to get digital skills. The name of my book is Niching Down. I put it there. So I'm not done. Just one last thing. So that's my book. You can download the book on my website, www.gakpan.com. And as a web enthusiast, Web3 enthusiast rather, I have worked with more than 50 Web3 brands since 2020. So I would like to tell my story as I proceed. And the purpose of telling my story is not to intimidate anybody, no, is to inspire everybody. Okay, is that fine? Do you want to be inspired? Why are you guys like this? Is it the sitting arrangement? Do you want to be inspired? Exactly. Thank you very much. So let me talk about Arbitrum. And um, if I'm going to talk about Arbitrum Nova, I'm going to have to talk about Arbitrum One. Okay. So what is Arbitrum One? I think the speakers so far have done justice to Arbitrum. In fact, we have um, very seasoned speakers. Let's celebrate everybody that has spoken so far. Let's clap for them. Let's clap them. Let's clap them. Let's clap them. All right. Thank you so much, sirs, for the knowledge shared. I would like to see more ladies talk about Web3 stuff. Honestly. Women, what's going on? Can we have more women holding the mic and talking Web3, talking tech? Can we have more women? Is it possible? Is it possible? So, what is stopping us? Nothing is stopping you now. No more gender inequality. I be what? All right. So Arbitrum. What is Arbitrum? What is Arbitrum? This afternoon, I'll be doing my first lecture with the SMC DAO moderators intern. I tend to teach them. My intention is to teach them Web3 community management because over the years, I teach community management. And one of the things I'll be doing to them is I'll be explaining the various blockchain organizations that exist and how they can and their uniqueness, okay? Because there are various blockchain organizations. Now, I'm coming to realize that many people don't understand what blockchain is here. It's not true. Is it true? Do you know what blockchain is? Okay, let me do it like this because this crowd, you're funny. If you are a newbie in the Web3 space, can I see your hand?
Check.
Nobody accepts that they are an OG. Sorry, Hamatan has affected me too. All right. So if you're a newbie, let me see your hand now. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. So because if I see that there are many newbies, I will change my narrative. I will not follow this slide. There's a reason. Because I cannot be using big grammar and you are just sitting down there. I'm not saying anything to you. I'm reading from my slide and I'm not connecting. There's no need for what I'm doing today. Is that fine? So because when we come to do public speaking, the intention is to pass a message. And what's the essence of passing a message if the message is not received? There's no need, right? So let me see. Honestly speaking, now you are a newbie here. Let me see you. Wow, this is just beautiful. Wow. I don't want to take to now. All right, very quickly, let's talk about blockchains. Let's talk about blockchain. Can I calm down? Stage is lonely. Can I? Thank you. So, I'll calm down. So let's talk about blockchain. The thing about blockchain is that blockchain is a result of innovation. Everybody say innovation. Pan to my next slide. Now, there's something I always say in every event, and I'm seeing Injective Boys. Hello, SARS. GM. Good to see you guys. All right, so there's something I always say in every event, cross network, injective, Pi network, everything. I start with saying this: humanity thrives on innovation, and blockchain is a result of innovation. The fact that people are constantly looking for solutions to the problems we are facing in the world today is why we have the blockchain. So, what really is the blockchain? Can somebody who is an OG tell me what the blockchain is? With your big grammar so that I can break it down. What is the blockchain? Who knows? Okay, $5. Who knows? $5. Who knows? What's the blockchain? So you like money like that. Somebody should give him the mic. Not giving you $5, but give him the mic. She have another mic. Guys, I will need you to be alert, please. I'll be calling everybody.
Okay. GM. Answer now. GM. Okay. Blockchain is a decentralized ledger that builds on. Blockchain is like, okay, let me put it very simple. It's a decentralized ledger used for transaction.
Now, yes, the blockchain is a decentralized ledger. That's true. But it's not limited to only transactions. That's another thing. So, over the years, we have different means of storage. We have different means of storage. There was a time that you will store data on CDs, right? In those times, when you want to watch a movie, what do? You go to your CD. Is that true? Then you play the movie. Is that true? Is it not true? Give these guys food. All right. So it got to a time where we stopped using, okay, before then we were using floppy disks. Is it not true? Uh-huh. When we finished using floppy disks, we use CDs. From CDs, we moved to memory card. Is that not true? Uh-huh. Very good. From memory cards, we move to cloud or flash drive. From flash drive, we move to their cloud storage devices. Is that not true? Very true. Now, we also have what we call the blockchain, where data is no longer stored in, let's say, a cloud, but in a decentralized system known as blocks. That's the best I can do for you at this point. Known as blocks. Here, data are stored in blocks, in what we call nodes. So every computer is a node. Hmm? Listen. And in this node, the blockchain exists in the node. How do I break it down? The way you guys are looking at me, it's easy for engineering students. Somehow, just because of the technicalities. So, data this time around is stored in a block. Or just take it like that. Data on the blockchain is stored in a block. That's as simple as it can get. All right? All right? Yeah. So you're not storing data in a CD, you're not storing data in a physical device, so to say. Actually, it's a virtual storage space known as a block, right? So it happens to be that Bitcoin blockchain is the first blockchain. Now, Bitcoin was developed to help us carry out transactions only. There is nothing else you can do on the Bitcoin blockchain. And to carry out transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain, you use a coin called the BTC coin. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? Yeah. So Bitcoin was developed. The only thing you can do is carry out transactions. Now, what was the reason behind Bitcoin or the development of transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain? It was because traditional systems were limited. There were lots of limitations in traditional means of carrying out transactions. What were the limitations? Number one, in times past, when you want to pay your school fees, in times past, you have to queue up. Is that not true? That was a problem. Because why do I have to queue up when I can carry out a transaction from my phone? Is it making sense now? Is it making sense? Good. Number two, there was a problem with security and ownership. What was the problem of security? The fact that somebody can hack your bank server and sweep your money, and your bank will close up on you and take your money. Have you seen that some banks have shut down over the years with people's money? It doesn't happen on the blockchain. It actually does not. In context, it does not happen. It happens, but it does not happen in context. All right. So, and the issue is you now have full ownership of your account. You sign or approve anything that happens on your account. The 15 naira they take from your bank, they don't do it in DeFi or on the blockchain. So the blockchain came to solve the problem of seamless transactions, the problem of extra charges from your banks. Is it making sense? So we use different coins or we use different tokens. I told them one time, a token is not a coin, and it's true. Okay? So we use different coins to carry out these transactions. Now, there are lots of blockchains that exist in the world today. Lots of them. Bitcoin is the first. So pay attention. I'm sorry, you might need to develop new questions because of newbies. So Bitcoin is the first blockchain, and BTC is the first virtual currency there is. Is it making sense? When I say virtual currency, just bring out that 1,000 naira. Then imagine money, but money that you can't hold. Money that you can't hold. See it like this. Apple recently created the Vision Pro. How many people saw it? It's like, what do they call this stuff now? A goggle that you put on. And the moment you put it on, you plug into a virtual world. right? So you become a virtual character. And as a virtual character, you can go to meetings, you can attend parties, you can even buy a virtual land, right? Is it making sense? Please listen to me. All right. So just like you can plug into a virtual world where you become a virtual character today, you can also make transactions in this virtual world using what we call virtual currencies. These virtual currencies is what you now call cryptocurrency because it's built on the blockchain. So there is a difference between blockchain and crypto. It's not the same. You use crypto in the blockchain. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? Uh-huh. So now, the various, let me call them banks on the blockchain is now what you call DeFi projects. Hmm? Is it making sense? All of this is under the umbrella of Web3. Is it clear now? While these are all different terminologies, the truth is people are still building solutions on the blockchain that we see today. So we have Bitcoin, which was limited to just making transactions. And somebody now saw it as a problem and said, okay, let's make another blockchain that the purpose of this blockchain will not be only transaction, but you'll be able to build applications on it. The person now created another blockchain called the Ethereum blockchain. His name is Vitalik Buterin. Now, the Ethereum blockchain was built on the Bitcoin blockchain, and from there, other blockchains emerged. We now had another blockchain called the Polygon blockchain, built on the Ethereum blockchain. So builders were building stuff upon what others have built on. Is it making sense? Is it clear now? Yeah. So the Ethereum blockchain now gave developers access to build applications using what we call smart contracts. Smart contracts are just simple pieces of codes that, with these codes, certain kinds of agreements are autonomous, automatic. I'm sorry for using big grammar, but I hope you are getting me. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. All right. So we now have so many applications on Ethereum. Now, because Bitcoin was the only blockchain that existed, there was a problem. Again, there was the problem of high transaction fees. There was the problem of slow transaction time. Don't sleep on me. I will just vex. So there was those problems because everybody is trying to carry out a transaction. You agree with me that when a place is congested, what's that law of demand and supply again? When there is high demand, there is low supply. Is that true? It's a principle. So even on the blockchain, because there was high demand, was low supply. Because everybody was trying to make transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain, transaction time had to increase. Because before any transaction passes, there is a system to validate the transaction. There has to be a validation process before a transaction goes through. Else, there will be no security for the blockchain. So there is a system for security on the blockchain. This system ensures that every transaction is valid before it is approved. It uses what we call the cryptographic security system, so to say. Let me leave the English. So when Vitalik saw this, he developed another blockchain called Ethereum. And today, many other blockchains are in the crypto, or should I say, let me just use the crypto space today. Many. And permit me to say this, Arbitrum is one. Arbitrum is called a layer 2 blockchain, not layer 1. Now, there are different layers of blockchain networks as well. There are layer 1 blockchains, there are layer 2 blockchains. And Arbitrum is a layer 2 blockchain because it is solving the problem of scalability. What is scalability? Scalability has to do with speed. the speed in which a transaction takes place. So let's say I want to send money to everybody here all at once. I will use a, a blockchain that gives me more speed, right? That gives me speed. Like that when I make a transaction, everybody gets the alert at the same time. They use multi sender app, multi call sender app on the blockchain space. Now, this is when you come in, you get to understand this thing. But this is just a teaser. Is it fine? Yeah. So even though you don't understand, just pay attention. The more you listen, the more you get to grasp what is being said. Is that fine? Right. So what Arbitrum is doing, pan out, is they are solving the problem of scalability. One. Number two is interoperability. That word has an issue. It's just the seamlessness between which, since we are connecting from Bitcoin to Ethereum, and we are also connecting from Ethereum to, let's say, Arbitrum, for instance, we are connecting, we are building one thing on the other. There has to be a way to connect these things seamlessly. That's what the word interoperability means. So when I want to, let's say, have an interaction from Arbitrum network to Ethereum network, it becomes easy, right? Is it making sense? It is easy for these things to happen, to connect. I'm just trying to break this thing down. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yeah. So just as we had the Arbitrum network, we now have another network we call Arbitrum Nova. Because, see, the truth is, people will keep building stuff. And because wahala no dey finish. Is that not true? Hello? Does problem finish? Problem, see, let me tell you, as long as you are in this life, problem will not finish. And if problem will not finish, it means that solution will not finish. Is it making sense? And that is why everybody has something to offer. You might be looking down on yourself that you don't have anything to offer. The truth is, you have something to offer. You just need to discover it. Because problem no dey finish, actually. And so when Arbitrum saw that there was still a problem with speed and scalability, they created another blockchain within their ecosystem. It's like an umbrella now. They gave birth to another project. They called it Arbitrum Nova. Now, what Arbitrum Nova is simply doing is adding more speed and lessening or reducing transaction cost. Because just like the first person said, whenever you want to make a transaction, there is a charge. Okay? They call this charge the gas fee. Is that okay? They call it the gas fee. So this gas fee, they are paid to people who validate your transaction. Is it okay? So Arbitrum uses what we call the optimistic roll-up. Now, this is this is another huge tech term. It uses the optimistic roll-up. Now, there are different roll-ups available. And before roll-ups, we have different validation systems. We have the roll-ups, we have plasma, and we have one other one that I cannot remember. So we have roll-ups, plasma, and within the roll-ups, what roll-ups are, they are basically systems. See them as systems that aids transaction and makes every transaction verified. Just see it as that. So we have two kinds of roll-ups. I wrote them here. We have the optimistic roll-up and we have the ZK roll-up. Many of you have heard of ZK Zinc. It uses the ZK roll-up. Okay? So we have two different kinds of roll-up. And what roll-ups do is they help your blockchain network. Let's say you become a blockchain builder tomorrow. You might decide to use either the roll-up, ZK roll-up, or optimistic roll-up. What they will do to your blockchain is they will increase the speed. So when everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this thing, but there was a time we had this platform. We used to call it Rackstally. Now, who knows about Rackstally back in the year? Jesus. You will never chop money for tech. Oh. And that's so terrible. May have chopped money, oh, I won't lie. So what Rackstally did, I can't remember. I think it's something you put your money into it and you will be posting something every day, right? And they will be increasing your money as you are posting. That's what they did. Now, as more people got to know Rackstally, Rackstally server suffered because there's now congestion on the server. The server broke down. And it's a problem that many blockchains face. As more people get onboarded into a blockchain, there is need to increase scalability. That is speed. Okay? So Arbitrum saw the problem of speed and they created Arbitrum Nova. What Arbitrum Nova is basically for is developers who are willing to build, let's say you want to build a social media platform on the blockchain. You want to build a gaming project. You want to build an NFT project. It makes it faster because it uses a system now which is different from optimistic roll up. It uses what we call the any trust system. Let me call it that. Okay? So any trust makes it faster because the validation process is faster. Let me just say it like that, okay? So when you come to as a gamer, of course, one of the things you want is that your gaming is optimized. It's faster. So that's why we have Arbitrum Nova. So what Arbitrum Nova is doing is that it's helping developers, builders who are building social media, because on social media, you want to chat, and as you are texting, you are receiving from end to end, you are receiving messages. As you are texting, you are getting your response. Is that not true? So to have something fast like that, you need to build on a network that gives you speed. Okay? So that's why we have Arbitrum Nova. Pan out, please. So I differentiated here. I said Arbitrum 1 uses optimistic rollup, while Arbitrum Nova uses any trust. Arbitrum 1 is more secured. And the disadvantage here is Arbitrum Nova is less secured and it's also decentralized. I said lower transaction throughput and higher fees. Higher transaction throughput and lower fees because it's faster and the fees are lower. So Arbitrum 1 is for general purpose. Arbitrum Nova is for gaming and social apps. So let's say you are somebody who wants to become a developer. Fan out. I think I'm wrapping up. Fan out. Leave any trust. Fan out. All right, thank you. So if you're somebody who wants to build, and let me wrap up this way, because now I think you want to listen to me at this point, because humanity thrives on innovation. We will always have problems. That's why I said we will always have problems and we'll always have people who are building solutions to problems. What makes us relevant across time is that we become solution providers, not just people who are enjoying from what others have done. Okay? What actually writes your name on the sands of time is not that you are enjoying what somebody else has done, is that you are also building something. By building something, you make a name for yourself. Is that making sense? By building something that is solving a problem, you make a name for yourself. And even in the Web3 space that we see today, there are lots of problems. And still, as people are building, people are discovering problems in what they are building. It is left to us to decide to build solutions to these problems that are emerging as the years go by. Is that making sense? Because in the Web3 space that we see today, there are vulnerabilities, there are issues, limitations. And we need to come to a point where we are developing solutions to these limitations, to these vulnerabilities. Okay? So everybody has the capacity to do something. You might not have the brain for web development or, let's say, smart contract development, but you can have the ability to write, and you write so excellently. Okay, so you can decide to become a writer and just start writing about the problems and writing about solutions. You can become a content creator. If you are somebody who is so good in front of a camera, you can become a content creator. You can even work as a photographer in the space. There are lots of solutions that we can bring into the Web3 space today, and people are quickly embracing them. The truth is, while you are looking for a job, somebody is creating job opportunities. You see the difference? While you are looking for a job, somebody is thinking about how he can create job opportunities. This is what sets people into different levels. And I hope that many of us choose to go beyond the border of just seeking jobs or seeking to make money, but to actually solve problems and build solutions. Thank you very much, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for, thank you, Mr. Godswill. I hope you guys had fun. I actually learned a lot. If you learned something, please a round of applause for him.